Hey YouTube, James from the Wyvern Watch here. Welcome to another deck profile. This time an update for my Fire Fist list. Inspired for after I did the Pure Fire decks, my Pure Fire decks, of which there were three, this being obviously one of them, and then you've got the Fire Kings, which were built slightly later, and also Salamangreat is part of that video as well. But I think it's safe to say I think this one's my favourite, closely followed by Fire Kings and then Salamangreat after that. I haven't really got on board with Salamangreat, I have to say, but I'll persevere with it at the moment. But I've had this list for a long time now. I just thought I'd give you an update as to where I'm up to with it. And we'll just crack straight on with it. So first one, as usual, is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Dragon. For Brotherhood of the Fire Fist is its actual archetype, but I think everyone just refers to it as Fire Fist now. But Dragon's certainly one of the more popular ones. These are the red rare ones from a Duelist League set a long time ago. Very, very difficult to get hold of these now. I think it's available as a super rare as well, but I decided to stick with the red rare. I really like the sort of red text, especially when we're talking about a pure fire deck. So I just think, I generally go for the aesthetics. Like I say, Dragon's one of the more popular ones, but I prefer it at 2 because the newer support that came out in Fists of the Gadgets is probably a little bit more potent. First one being, of course, Brother of the Fire Fist Panda, of which I am playing 3 of. Hope those are reasonably straight on camera. You know what, I don't think they are. Sorry about that, guys. I do like to make sure they're at least there or thereabouts on the screen. I think that's probably still a little bit off in fairness, but I'll have to accept my apologies on this one. Which of course is the level 5, but it does special summon itself, and it can grab another one as well. And the other one that it generally goes for is, of course, the elephant. The elephant in the room. Excuse me. Something's not quite right with this. I think I need to go slightly further that way, and that probably keeps it a little bit more central. Sorry to keep faffing about with the camera. But yeah, both artworks on these are absolutely incredible in my opinion. Great additions to the deck. I love how they've all got their own little... it's based on a creature, of course, as well as it being a sort of samurai sort of type figure. But yeah, Panda and Elephant were great additions, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And that's sort of the inspiration for putting the deck together in the first place, actually, when the new support came. Straight from Astral Pack 2, this is Brother of the Fire Fist Raven as well, which effect isn't once per turn, and you can really sort of maximise its use on Raven. Certainly recommend it at 3 if you are thinking of building it, but it's great for obviously grabbing the Fire Formation spell and traps directly from the deck. So, and like I say, it doesn't anywhere state once per turn, so you can just keep doing it if you've got multiples available and you're able to do so, which you should be able to. It's relatively easy. And some of the older stuff, we are playing the 2 Rooster, which is sort of the old faithful card, if you like. These are from Mega Pack 14, and to go with it there is also, of course, 1 Spirit, which are easy ways of going into your, forget its name now, hang on a sec, Horse Prince, that's the one, the Horse Prince. And then we've got a few one-offs to show you. So we've got 1 Leopard, which again is part of the same combo. I wanted to make sure there was one of the ritual cards in there as well. So Eland has made it, Eland, maybe Eland, I think it is. We've got Brother of the Fire Fist Bear, an old classic, and Buffalo, just because obviously when you've got Eagle going, Buffalo's effect is actually a freebie anyway. But Bear is the ultimate rare version of that, which is still really strong. I really like that card. I'm so glad I picked it up. That was a long time ago now, but we've kept it in very nice condition. But yeah, once you get Eagle on board, and like I say, the Eagle is what makes everything tick. all the effects that these guys have all of a sudden become basically free. So that's why I like it so much. But we do have a couple of Ash Blossom as well to go with it. These are the feet variants. I really need to change that out because I hate the artwork on them. I mean, I don't use the word hate very much, but that is particularly bad. It's only in here because of a minor hand trap. Like I say, I tend not to play loads of hand traps in my decks, but it's obviously fire and it sort of fits the bill a little bit. And then a couple of one-offs. So you've got one Heater, the Finite Fire Channeler, which actually is in the Quarter Century Secret Rare, really pretty. And one Blaster as well, because obviously with it being a pure fire deck, it's very easy and we can sort of take advantage of it a little bit. Just as a little added gimmick. And again, guys, if you are attempting to make this a competitive deck, good luck to you, first of all. But secondly, you probably take things like Blaster out and start maximising on hand traps and that sort of thing. But again, I'm not interested in meta, especially when we're talking about an old road deck like this. I wouldn't even call it rogue, it's just a casual fun deck, isn't it? And then, of course, you've got Tenki in its own deck, which is very important. Obviously, we recognise that Tenki is actually a Fire Fist card, and, and obviously Tenki is used in a number of different decks now to search the Beast Warriors. But of course, in its own deck, it is very super. I really want the Ultimate Rare ones of those, but they're very difficult to get in good condition. Tensus to go with it, obviously allowing the extra normal summon. And again, a very strong card for the deck. If you get both on board, it starts working very well. And then the newer guys, so you've got two, excuse me, Domai, which is the ritual summon option, and then you've got one InGen, which is the fusion option. You might ask me why I'm running two Domai when I'm only one of the ritual monsters. But it does have a face-up effect, so if this face-up card is sent to the spell trap card zone to the graveyard, you can target one Fire Fist monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it's just nice to have the extra card on the field, but also you can use it as trade off for one of the effects, because they all use face-up Fire Fist or Fire Formation cards. Then four more one-offs spell-wise. So you've got Yoko, one Harpy's Feather Duster, one Monster Reborn, and one Called by the Grave. The last three, of course, I don't really need to explain, but Yoko isn't a popular card for Fire Fist, but I like to play it just for the extra name, of course, and it just gives us that extra option on there. And I love the artwork as well. You've got, I'm not quite sure which ones those are actually, but I love it anyway. So that's it for spells, and then into traps. So I've got two Ultimate Fire Formation Cintos, which is your sort of Omni-Negate while you control a Fire Fist monster and the Fire Formation spell or trap. So it's quite conditional, which is why I don't mind playing it too much. But it's part of the archetype and I really wanted to make sure it's in there. I've also got two Storming Mirror Force. This is based on the fact that it's a fire-based deck, and it just seems appropriate, and it can actually be very devastating, Storming Mirror Force, because people aren't expecting it. And we've also got the two Solemn Judgments. Everyone knows what Solemn Judgment is, but just to give it a little bit of extra defense. So I can't pick these up now. And last but not least, for the main deck, you've got one Fire Formation Tensen. Again, not one commonly played in Fire Fists, but like I say, I just wanted to make sure I'm running most of the names. So Fire Formation Tensen, and I managed to pick this up in Red Rare as well from Jewelers Day 18. So really ace card. I actually got this up from picked this up from Italy, believe it or not. I think I got it on eBay. But yeah, that's the main deck for me. And then moving on to extra deck, which is where the fun happens, of course. So I'll start with the links. So with most of my fire decks, I'm always running a Salamangreat El Mirage, because there are monsters, of course, you can use it with. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, so the elephants are relevant if you get stuck with that. The ravens are relevant. The spirit. There's enough in there to sort of make it useful if we need to. Brother of the Fire Fist Eagle. Now this is, like I say, this is really the card that makes the deck tick, and honestly, it basically says that you know, you can activate Fire Fist monster effects without having to tribute the Fire Fist stroke fire formation spells in order to do so. One Brother of the Fire Fist Peacock, excellent artwork on this one, but that's sort of stealing a opponent's monster. One Heat of the Fire Charmer, Ablaze, obviously you probably expect that with it being a full fire deck. One Nightmare Phoenix, of course, again the fire variant, and it's pretty much my staple Link 2. Promethean Princess, of course, was the newer addition to the deck. Really happy to see this card when it came out. And of course, Borosword Dragon as probably the only non-fire type in the deck. But I just wanted to give it that Link 4 option, and that sort of seemed the best one at the time. Then moving on to Xyz. So we've got all the options basically. So we've got one Fire Fist Tiger King, one Cardinal, one Dagaras the Timeless, oh sorry, it should have been the other way around there, but one Lion Emperor as well. So number 60 of course isn't a Fire Fist card, but a good rank 4 fire type card nonetheless. Brother of Fire Fist Tiger King, of course, is one of the original ones, and this one is the ultimate rare, excellent card. Love summoning that. And I just wanted to, like I say, make sure the other two options are in here as well. Lion Emperor doesn't get summoned an awful lot, but it's there as an option. And that's it for the Xyz. And then last but not least, we've got one of the Fusion, one Horse Prince, and one Vulcan the Divine. This could be switched out for anything, of course. It's not commonly used, but I really like the artwork on Vulcan the Divine, and I thought, which deck are we going to play that in? And obviously Fire Fist got it. Horse Prince really deserves a reprint now. Very, very difficult to get hold of one of these at the moment. But yeah, excellent card, and obviously one of the go-to sort of summons using Spirit. And of course, InGen being in the deck, you can go for Swan as well, which is very, very useful actually. Guys, that's it for the profile. Thank you so much for tuning in for this long. I hope it hasn't gone on too long for the video. Well, where are we up to? Oh, it's not too bad, 12 minutes. So let me know what you think in the comments, of course. As per usual, the comments are extremely important for me and this channel. I get a lot of feedback saying that people are reading the comments and obviously making amendments to their own builds based on the comments that you guys are providing. So it's a community thing, isn't it? I'm not saying that this is the center of the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but for people like me who are casual players, getting on the older side, and perhaps not understanding the modern game fully, these older archetypes are super important that they stay in the game. And like I say, I'd love to see some of the comments that you've got, and maybe you are a newer player and you've never seen this archetype before. I wouldn't be surprised because it's an older one. But do let us know in the comments. Like I say, we love to hear it, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers. Bye.